Welcome to another episode of We Built Construction and the Built Environment.
So what's involved in this test then?
You apply electricity to the membrane.
You what?
Apply electricity to the membrane,
Okay.
and the waterproofing insulates against the electricity.
Yeah.
If there's a hole in it, allows electricity to travel into the concrete, recreates a circuit, sounds an alarm.
Ah.
There will not be a hole in this
Okay.
because it's brand new. They've just installed it. It's like 10 mil thick.
Yeah.
The only way there'd be holes in here is if people have been on it, like scaffolders or whatever.
Ah. Okay.
They're the people who tend to put holes in it.
Yeah.
So basically, I've just got to brush this with this. It's going to take me 10-15 minutes,
Oh, cool.
and then we'll be done.
Oh, nice. So do you come from a different? Do you come from Accurate Roofing or
No,
different?
we're completely independent. So for NHBC warranties, everything has to be tested.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we're just an independent testing company.
Okay.
That's why when they said they should be here,
Yeah.
they should have been.
be here. I know. So what's this? Is this what conducts the electricity?
Yeah. So basically, if you imagine this, you've got a power source here.
Yeah.
That's emitting electricity to the copper electrode.
Yeah.
Then this is an earth lead.
Yeah.
So we're going to attach this to something structural or ground.
Yeah.
So the scaffold is fine. You're then when you switch this brush on, it's
Yeah.
a high voltage stabilized direct current, which means it's all volts, no amps, no hazard to health,
Wow.
but it's capable of bridging 26 mil of air to make contact with the conductor.
Oh wow.
So effectively, if I show you once I've attached this all up,
Yeah.
if I bring that near a pole, you'll see a blue spark come out that will go to the pole.
Ah, cool.
Same as if there was a hole in the
If there was
Hot
a
melt,
hole in the hot melt.
it
Yeah.
connects to the concrete in the same way.
Ah, okay.
And at that point, then you've got a circuit then where everything's going round.
Yes.
And then because that circuit's recreated, you get an alarm from this.
Ah, I see. And then what's this bit here do?
So that's a completely different thing altogether.
Ah,
if,
okay.
if the roof was completely wet,
Yeah.
we would test it with this.
Okay.
So then this is again another power source,
Yeah.
a wire which you put around the area of the wet roof.
Yeah.
You then electrify all the water every 2 seconds.
Okay.
The machine again is earth. So you're trying to get electricity from the machine, round this wire, across the water, in a hole, back round to the earth, back to the machine.
Okay.
Except instead of brushing the roof with this
Yeah.
and physically making contact with the conductor,
Yeah.
you're relying on water to act as what's known as a partial conductor.
Okay.
So you then have probes, which are these all attached together to be probes,
Yeah.
and a meter which hangs around your neck which measures direction of current flow.
Okay.
So if I'm standing here
Yeah.
and there's a hole over there, every 2 seconds that switches itself on and off.
Yeah.
It creates a pulse across the test field that you've created by putting the wire around the wet roof,
Oh, okay.
and the electricity will travel to Earth. So
Okay.
if I'm standing here and the electricity between these two metal points,
Yeah.
so not that, the two metal points which you
Yeah.
put in the water, if there's a hole over there, electricity will be travelling from the wire
Okay.
to the hole,
Yeah.
which means that between the two metal points, electricity will be travelling in that direction.
Okay.
So the meter will read
Makes
that way.
sense. Yeah.
You go left, 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 left until eventually every 2 seconds you've gone past the hole and obviously it goes the other way.
Okay.
You then create an X and a Y.
Yeah.
You bring down the width of the probes on the two X and the Y and
Yeah.
you find the hole on the
Okay. That's proper precision.
I've been doing this for 22 years.
Wow. No way.
Yeah, 22 years.
No
this is
way.
my company.
Ah.
I started testing in 1999.
Yeah.
I then got headhunted by Shell, the
Yeah.
petrol people,
Oh.
because they were making asphalt.
Yeah.
So it's an oil-based waterproofing.
Yeah.
So oil, Shell. I went to work for them, but basically they didn't really want a testing company. They wanted just somebody to do all the testing on their asphalt.
Okay.
And I didn't really want to be that.
Yeah.
They sort of promised me that I could build a company, and that although I would be doing their testing, I'd be a bigger company and I could test for the
Other
whole of the country.
Okay.
So I left Shell, and that was in 2002. I started my company. Since then, I've tested 4.25 million square meters of roof.
Wow.
I've done Arsenal Stadium, Wembley Stadium. I've
Oh my
done
days.
7 sites on the Olympics.
No way.
Yeah, including the Velodrome, the
Sick.
handball arena, the stadium where they've got liquid waterproofing on the seating areas.
Yeah.
I've done 140 Tesco's, 93 Sainsbury's.
Bloody hell.
I've been very fortunate in my career, you know. I've been in
Yeah.
the right place at the right time.
Yeah, definitely.
The dry testing equipment that we're about to use now,
Yeah.
that was originally a paint thickness tester for bridge decking.
Oh, okay.
So if you imagine that what they did was they applied electricity using that copper brush
Yeah.
to metal or concrete bridges
Yeah.
that had a paint on it.
Okay.
And the paint acts as an insulator
Yeah.
to the electricity. And depending on how much electricity you put on it, you could basically conduct through the paint. So you could measure how thick the paint was.
Oh.
So if you had contracted to put 5 coats on,
Yeah.
they'd come along and they'd set
They'd
it to
check
5
it.
coats and
Yeah.
they'd check it all to make
Oh.
sure that it was all 5 coats.
Yeah.
Well, paint on concrete is the same as bitumen on concrete.
Okay.
So I actually adapted this machine in the early 2000s to test roofs, and I worked with the company who were already making it, so I didn't get I didn't invent anything or get anything from it. All I
Yeah.
got was I was the first person ever to use this machine,
Oh.
and now they sell 500 of these in the UK every
Okay.
year.
No way.
Yeah. So
That's absolutely nuts.
with the smaller puddles, rather than wet test them,
Yeah.
you can put a brush into the puddle. All the voltage will go because you've attached to something conductive, because water's a conductor.
Yeah.
However, the voltage will recover if there's no hole. So if there's a hole in that puddle there
Yeah.
and you put the brush on it, the voltage will go down, collapse to 0, which is what happens when you go over a hole.
Okay.
If there's a hole in there, then obviously electricity is still traveling.
Yeah.
If there's no hole, then and the puddle becomes live,
Yeah.
then but there's a resistance against the electricity, then the voltage will start to creep up, and that tells me that there's no hole in the puddle.
Okay.
That saves me having to wet test all of the puddles.
Yeah.
If it was all wet,
Yeah.
then obviously wherever you put the brush, it's going to be 0.
Yeah.
And then you're not really doing the job anymore. You're just brushing with a
Yeah.
dead brush. That's
Okay.
all where all the electricity's been absorbed by the water.
Okay. And that's when you would use your other set of equipment.
You'd use this one. If
Yeah.
the roof was wet, you'd use that one.
Yeah.
And this will actually conduct through. So if you've got concrete that's imperfect and there's lots of peaks and troughs in it,
Yeah.
and they try to lay this hot melt, because it's liquid and it's hot when it goes down,
Yeah.
it doesn't go over the high parts of the concrete. So if there's a
Okay.
little peak in the concrete,
Yeah.
sometimes that can push through,
Okay.
and you won't be able to see it because they put the cap sheet over the top and then it's
Yeah.
hidden.
Okay.
And so this will also pick that up as well.
Okay. All right.
What we're looking for is this. So
Okay.
that's electricity travelling around,
Yeah.
recreating a circuit.
Okay.
We want that through the waterproofing.
Yep.
It's no more interesting than this. There's not going to be a hole. I wouldn't bother videoing anymore if I were you.
Okay.
If we find something, I'll let you know, and then we'll do
Okay.
another one.
All right.